Thanks for coming along to another session, Mike. I wanted to speak to you about what is really getting under your skin today. I am going to try to get to the bottom of whatever it is, and we will be able to speak about whatever is bothering you and try to find out what the biggest fear you have or the biggest worry. We will really dig into your psyche and try to uncover secrets to make you feel much better in whatever you're going through and whatever is worrying you, whether it's worry over money or relationship or guilt. Are you feeling comfortable? Is there anything I can get you? A glass of water? Maybe another cup of coffee? Yep, a cup of coffee would be great, please, thanks. Joe made some coffee and laid the cup on the table in front of Mike. Mike took a drink of coffee and then relaxed in his seat for his counselling session. So Mike, first I want to ask you, what do you think is making you feel uncomfortable this month? Well, to be honest, I feel like I'm trying my best to better my life, in work etc. And I'm putting my work before my home and my wife and kids etc. I mean, by the time I get home at night, my kids are already in bed, and I hardly ever take my wife out. Sometimes I feel like maybe if I made less money and had more time with my family, I would be so much happier. Well, Mike, I can see where you're coming from, but it's my job to make you unravel whatever is worrying you. So Mike, let's start at the start. You mentioned you're working too hard to spend time with your family. Could you explain more? Is that all it is? You working long hours to not spend time with your wife? Or is there something else? Well, yes, that's it basically, and I wish I had more time with my family to spend with my wife and kids. That is one of the main reasons I came to see a counsellor. Oh Mike, I'm glad you came to see a counsellor, as I will tell you what you should do. You should be honest with your wife and kids. You should be loyal. Mike was getting a bit anxious. Joe kept talking. See Mike, what good is it you coming to counselling if you don't take note of the counsellor? You shouldn't be disloyal now, should you? Joe looked confused and said, That's okay, I just wanted to try it out as an experiment when you were so adamant you thought it would be a good idea to see what things would feel like if our roles were reversed. But I am your counsellor, so let's just keep it that way, please. Mike gave a sinister smile and said, Oh no, but you see, Mr. Counsellor, I was enjoying playing the role of a counsellor because I was just getting to the root of your problem, which as a matter of fact I just found out last week from reading my wife's text messages is my problem also. Joe stood up and said, Mike, our session is over, and to be honest, I'm sorry, but I think you might have to get a different counsellor. Mike said, No, Mr. Counsellor, I have finally discovered how to ease my pain. See, now that I know that you are having an affair with my wife, I just need to make that stop. Mike pulled out a gun and pointed it to Joe. Joe jumped in fright and said, Mike, I'm so sorry. I will never see your wife again. Trust me, you have to trust me. Mike said, Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? You always used to tell me, trust my wife, when I told you I was worried she was cheating. Well, I can't trust her, can I? And I shouldn't, should I? So I need to get rid of the problem. I need to get rid of you. Mike shot his counsellor in his head. There were 4 random strangers chosen to share in a prize of $100,000 if any one of them solved a puzzle. It started with a simple phone call. Sarah was in her office when she got the call. Hello, this is a genuine request. You're under no obligation to say yes, but you and 3 other people are invited to take part in a puzzle. If you or any of the rest of the participants solve the puzzle, ye will all share in the prize of $100,000. That's giving ye all exactly $25,000 each. That is a nice payback for just a few minutes' work. If you would like to participate, then all you have to do is arrive at Madison Hotel on Grove Street at 6 p.m. this evening. There is an elevator on the ground floor. Just wait outside that elevator for the door to open. Then please enter with the rest of the participants. You will all know that ye are there for the puzzle, don't worry. The same phone call arrived for Jack, who was in the gym working out. Tony got his call while out walking, and Mary got her call while watching TV. They all agreed to take part in the puzzle. That evening at 6 p.m, they were all waiting outside the elevator, waiting for it to open, excited with the chance of pocketing $25,000 each if any of them solved the puzzle. Suddenly the elevator doors opened, and they all stepped inside. The elevator started going up, and a voice came through the speaker. "Hello, player. Thank you very much for taking part in this puzzle that enables you to have a chance of winning $25,000 each. The question to the puzzle is simple. The floors of this hotel have various occupants at different times. Sometimes, but other times not as much. But what button in this elevator is pressed the most? If you can't answer by the time we reach the top floor, you will be shown the answer on the display in the elevator, but unfortunately you will lose out in the money. This is the most important rule. If you give a wrong answer, you will all lose the game. Good luck." The elevator started going up to the top floor. Everyone started talking about it, trying to solve the puzzle. It sounded so complicated, especially when there were different numbers of people staying in different floors at different times. Everyone knew there was 15 floors in the hotel, so Sarah shouted first floor before it hit 15. They all hoped the answer was right. Then suddenly the voice came back and said, "I am very sorry. You were very close, but the answer is ground floor, because everyone has to go to the ground floor. As promised, we will show you the answer, which is everyone has to go to the ground floor." Suddenly the elevator made a bang and started falling faster and faster, and everyone in it started screaming until it crashed to the floor and they were all killed. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you want to stay up to date on new content, then please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell to be notified on new content. Sam was 10 years old and loved cats. A few years ago, unfortunately, the only cat he had was ran over by a car on the road outside his house. He was heartbroken as he had no friends and felt like the only one who understood him was his cat. He spent days and nights in bed upset about his cat getting killed. One day he was walking in the woods when he came across a woman dressed like a witch, standing in front of a cauldron. He wondered why she was dressed like a witch when it wasn't even Halloween for another few months. Then he got a start wondering, Was she actually really a witch? Especially when she had a cauldron in front of her. He made up his mind. Of course she had to be a real witch. The witch said to him, "Now there, dear boy, there seems to be something troubling you. What is it, may I ask?" The boy frowned, then said, "It's my cat. My poor cat Snowy. He got ran over by a car outside my house." The witch smiled, and this troubled Sam. Why would she smile after he just told her his poor cat got ran over by a car? Then she said, "My dear boy, it is very sad news indeed that your cat got killed, but I have some good news for you. I have a very special cat that does all sorts of tricks. This cat can perform better tricks than any other cat you might see in any circus, and the best news is, my dear boy, that you can have my cat and give him the name you choose, but you can only have him under one condition, and one condition only, and that is, do not ever, and I mean never, ever make money from him. Do not ever take any money for anything you do with that cat. Don't accept any offer from anyone. If you abide by that rule, the cat is all yours, but if you don't, well, just put it this way, my dear boy. I warned you." The boy was scared of the witch and just stared at her with fear for what felt like an hour, but was only minutes. Then he finally said, "I would really love to have your cat, lady. I promise I won't ever take any money from anyone for anything to do with your cat." The witch smiled and said, "Well then, my dear boy, the cat is all yours." Suddenly a black cat came out from behind the cauldron and walked up to Sam. Sam was so happy to have a cat again and wondered what tricks he did exactly. As the months went on, he found out more and more. Word got around town of the cat having amazing skills in so many different areas. It was known to be able to jump at unexplainable heights and so much more. Videos of the cat started going viral, but Sam stuck to his word and didn't earn any money from his cat. He turned down countless offers. One man in particular was a multi-millionaire with a huge empire made up of cat clothes, food, events, and so much more around cats. The man was called Harry Dean. He made the boy an offer of $5 million for his cat. Sam declined. On the day the man gave the cat his most expensive cat food, that cats absolutely adored the world over, but the cat wouldn't touch it. He practically turned his nose up to it. He went up to the boy instead and started eating his cheapest cat food he could afford from the local mall. Sam's parents couldn't understand why Sam believed the crazy old woman in the woods, pretending to be a witch. They kept trying to get him to make money from the cat. They could see the fortune they were turning down over some stupid idea of a woman thinking she was a witch. One day Sam's parents tricked him into making money from the cat. They promised him when he was going on the news talking about him, they wouldn't be paid anything. But of course, they were paid a fine sum. They would give him some extra pocket money to lessen any guilt they might have. They wouldn't tell him where the money came from, of course. Sam was on the news talking about his cat. "Hi, my name is Sam, and I had a very nice cat a few years ago, and his name was Snowy. Snowy was a very curious cat and used to always wander out onto the road. That is what killed him in the end. A car ran him over and they didn't even stop to say sorry. He was just lying there on the road dead. I was upset for weeks and weeks. Then one day I was walking in the woods and I met a lady. She was dressed as a witch. First I thought she wasn't a witch because it isn't every day you see a witch. But I know now that it was definitely a real witch because how else would my cat Miley know how to do all these wonderful, amazing tricks? My mum and dad tell me I'm silly for believing that woman was a witch, but I know what I saw, and I know that woman was a witch. The next day Sam was delighted to have gotten extra pocket money. He was playing with his cat Miley. His mum walked in the room and screamed when she saw the cat's eyes on the floor. She wondered why Sam hadn't screamed, until she knew the reason when she got closer. The cat's eyes were intact. It was Sam's eyes were scrawled out of his sockets from the witch's cat. We have very tragic breaking news today that 10-year-old Sam Wilson was tragically murdered last night. It is believed that his parents are in custody and are about to be charged with the murder of the boy. The boy was just sitting on the chair over there speaking to me yesterday about how his parents wouldn't believe him about his story of getting a cat from a witch. The boy was convinced that he did have a witch's cat, and this story is unfolding as we speak, so we will keep you updated with information as soon as we get it. Our thoughts and prayers are with the young boy who has tragically lost his life to such a brutal and senseless act of violence. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you want to stay up to date on new content, then please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell to be notified on new content.